So here's your sits bone, which is right there, right? There's a point on the middle of the sits bone, on the inside of the sits bone. There's an inside hollow of it that I find the sits bone, I go inside the sits bone, and I palpate on it. And it's a nasty little point.
Against the sit bone?
It's against the bone, yeah. You're really close to sort of, untrottable terrain here.
Right.
So you want to keep your fingers pointed out and be against the sits bone and slide, pressing against the sits bone, slide in and then against the sits bone to find the point. Unhappy point, right?
Yeah.
So what we're doing with this point is really interesting. There's a very similar point. I'll mention it. When we're all done, I want to add one to the supine series, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff that attaches to the ischial tuberosity. Most of them are extensors and adductors. Mm-hmm. So they pull the leg up and they pull the leg in. So guess what we're going to do to make this point disappear? Yeah. So bring this one in. That sounds like Groucho Marx. Pull the leg up. Lift this leg slowly. Now, what I'm doing is I'm going to...
That's one of the worst jokes I've ever heard.
Slip my hand. The hand position is really important because it's going to kind of set everything up. Actually, I'm going to go below because you have long legs. Keep this leg straight. So my hand under... Go back and find my point. My hand under her leg is going to control the extension, right? So I'm going to lift her until I'm really happy. That feels better, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to do the adduction. What does adduction mean? Pulling together, right? So watch. Her leg is resting on my forearm. What would happen if I just pushed my forearm forward and slid my hand down?
Wow.
Kind of sweet, huh?
Yeah.
Is that Jones's or yours?
This is Jones.
I think you ought to get a patent on your other one.
It's worth a lot of money. This is the part that I do that nobody else I've seen has done. Is from here, I'm sort of in there, but she's really pulling on the outside. What would happen if I had Carrie push her leg into my arm? Sort of obliquely, part like 45 degrees down to the floor. Harder. I don't have to do anything, right?
Way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then release. See, she just dropped into it.
Yeah.
So I do that again. Push, push, push. More out. More out. Yeah. Harder, harder, harder. Push, 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 push. And let go. Yeah. Watch it just lengthen. Cool. How's that point? Totally soft. So not only are there muscles that attach here, but they're very, very stout ligaments that run from the ischial tuberosity to the sacrum. So this is still part of the sacrum that we're doing. Even though this isn't part of the sacroiliac joint, these are ligaments that are called the sacrotuberous ligaments.
So you just have the ischial tuberosity inside.
I'm going to let you. I'm going to do it to each of you, and you watch me. I'm on the ischial tuberosity.
Okay.
I'm on the ischial
So
tuberosity.
it's where it hooks onto the ischial tuberosity. It's where the ligament, that's the space.
No, I'm actually not on the sacrotuberous ligament either. I'm on the bone. I'm actually on the bone, not in the ligament.
Okay,
Okay, on the bone.
that makes.
I'm only mentioning the ligament because I think it's part of the therapeutic effect, but I'm not paying attention to the ligament at all. The only thing you want to pay attention to is not be anywhere near their kneecaps, because you can really scrunch and really hurt them.
So you're below her.
In this case, I was above. Sometimes I'd be, below. Sometimes I'd be above, depending on.
Depending on the length of the leg.
You might have one of those little poodles.
Hello?
You like one of those little poodle dogs, didn't you?
What's that?
Yes, dear.
What about the
Chihuahua.
So,
I got it.
You got it.
so when we do the seated pelvic floor release,
You little chihuahua.
when we do the seated pelvic floor release, our
Yes,
fingers
right.
are on the ischial
Right.
tuberosities, right? So that's that same bone. And we're usually on sort of the outside. Sometimes the pregnant women, I'll be inside to get a release of the diamond inside of it. So here we are with Carrie. So here's a tuberosity. If you follow the inner thigh up, you're going to run into a bone right there, right? There's the bone, and there's a whole space between the two bones that goes in called the ischial-rectal fossa that runs from the ischial tuberosity to a rectum, right? Where we are is not in the fossa per se. I'm really hard up against the bone, and I'm just pushing in against the bones. I'm penetrating a little bit, like I'm doing with the thumbs, like I'm doing the bilateral pelvic floor lift, right? And then I'm pushing into the tuberosity as I go down. That doesn't hurt much more, does it? No. But if I went to the other side, I'm against the bone, I curl on the inside of the bone, and I push there. That's a little more tender. Not so bad, though. And that's it.
When did you use it?
Between the greater trochanter, this bony knob here, and there's a sacrum, and halfway down is a point.
Jumping rabbit?
Jumping rabbit point. I thought jumping rabbit is actually up there, but
Jumping rabbit?
is jumping rabbit piriformis?
Oh, no, it's not one of the gallbladder points.
I think that's up here, which is going to be the L3, L4. Anyway, piriformis is sort of like psoas. It flexes and externally rotates. The way I manage this one, though, I have a chair. Thank you. Right beside here. Is Carrie, slide a little bit over toward this side of the table.
Everybody's got
Great. Bend your leg and take it off the table. For a lot of people with really acute low backs, this is the only position they can sleep in,
Yeah, that's good.
and that point disappears. Look it up in Jones.
And you are between...
I'm between the ischial tuberosity and the SI.
Okay.
Mid-pole SI. Right? I'm doing this for completeness because this might be useful. And then some people really like a little internal rotation.
Yeah.
Some people really like external rotation. You've got to play with that yourself. Some people want to go higher than 90 degrees, like 150, 120. Really depends on, when we did dissections, when I looked at the pelvis, there's such a huge variability in the piriformis muscle. But remember that regardless of the relationship, exact relationship, the piriformis muscle is, which means pear-shaped, is intimately associated with the sciatic nerve. In like a third of the people, the sciatic nerve splays out, goes through the piriformis in separate fibers and goes back together on the other side. So some run under, some run over. It's quite remarkable. Regardless of that, if the piriformis is pissed off, the sciatic nerve is pissed off. Why might the piriformis be pissed off?
weight-bearing integrity issues.
Thank you. Let's give Cheryl. Yes, it's a trust muscle, right? Means there's something wrong. Weight-bearing integrity issues, as in needing a heel lift, right? What about if their IS is deranged? Yep. Yep.
And anything with the psoas, diaphragmatic system with the psoas.
Yeah, why is the psoas pissed off?
Weight-bearing integrity.
Yeah, same thing. Psoas is following the same plan as the piriformis. It's part of that unit of function. But yeah, good, perfect. So, the last points, I thought these were jumping rabbit, but on the upper outer part of the sort of hollow of the butt are about, can I pull your pants down again? I won't expose your butt though. Here's a sacroiliac joint, here's the tuberos, here's the ischial tuberosity, right? And if we draw a line from where the piriformis would be, above that and outside of that are several really nasty points that are sort of on a line. There's one that's usually really bad right there. I thought that was jumping rabbit. But jumping foot, feet, right? And there's usually one down about here. Right, they both handle about the same. These are coming from the lumbar plexus, right? And what we're going to do to soften them is, when you see it, it's going to be kind of self-evident. Just drag that away, please. Again, we're above that line between the tuberosity and the sacroiliac joint where the piriformis was. We're up and to the side. So if this is the iliac crest right here, see that? The the points we're talking about are close to the iliac crest. Get on the side here, like. Like there? Is that the point?
You were more in the middle.
Oh, here. Here it is right there. That's it. I was down further. It's a really easy, lift up your legs slightly. So, just one. And I come under her knee. And I lift. So I do straight extension. Then I do abduction. And I lift a little bit more. Where's my vector going? It's going straight in to release the quadratus, and I'm not releasing the psoas because I'm extending. I'm actually making the psoas tighter, but I'm bringing the leg out. And what I find is, for this, because of the tension of the psoas, I get a lot of mileage if I actually ask her to push her knee down to the floor. Push down, please. I gotcha. And release. Now, Jones puts his, and I used to, put my knee under the leg. You know, put your leg up and put it under their knee and hold that up. Because the other thing I like to do is find out where they're stuck and push your foot into my hand, please. And then release. Push again. And release. Good. How's that now? Yeah. So often after I've done unlashing the whip, I may go back and do the mid-pole sacroiliac joint, and on the side where their symptoms were, usually the side where the sciatic nerve is non-modal, where you deal with it in the popliteal space, remember that? Mm-hmm. You know, sitting in midline for the sciatic nerve, I would do these L3 and L4 points, which are really lumbar plexus points.
For people with sciatica.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's that back, not quite sciatica, it's that back pain that radiates into your butt, down the leg or in the front. Right? What? Yeah. Well, I went to find where the greatest resistance was. I'm really listening for resistance, right? In this case, her resistance was an external rotation, not anymore, but she didn't go there, so I had to push into my hand. And this way, some people have no internal rotation. Internal rotation, and I'll have them push there, and I'll do that.
Oh, you do either way.
Either way, it's wherever the resistance is. The most important thing is one of those, external or internal, could be keeping you from getting the leg up in the position where the point gets. Because there is indeed, in fact, a rotator cuff for the hips too, is there not? Yes. So a whole cluster of rotator cuff muscles, more than in the arm, that actually control the hips. Okay.